You are competing for buyers' eyeballs in 2025. It always has been about the count, views, the price. I get that. Real estate is just like that. But it will be extremely challenging in 2025. So let's get right into the video. Oh boy, so 2025, as mentioned previously in this channel, I started talking about this 6 to 8 months ago, how we will have an influx of inventory in Toronto and the GTA, and how the condo market will sink the entire real estate market, right? So some people took it with a grain of salt. And of course, you should always do research, trust your gut feeling, talk to whoever you can, watch as many videos and educate yourself. But the one thing is for sure, the feeling might change over months, quarters, periods, and the atmosphere changes. So for example, the interest rates started to go up. We saw what happened, right? Like the real estate market literally halt, right? We had prices come down by 10, 20, 30% depending on the area, and it was extremely hard kind of to go through that particular period, obviously due to the affordability and all of that stuff. So our economy got hit. Anyways, now it's the reverse effect where people are thinking, anticipating, analyzing, and hoping that 2025, with these interest rate cuts, will magically open up some kind of a magic door or magic opportunity. Guys, all this means is that we're hurting. Our economy is hurting badly, and therefore we're seeing jumbo rate cuts and we're seeing all kinds of stuff happening. Banks are sitting down, they're trying to compete with one another. Why would they do that? Why not get more money from you, right? But now they understand and they're analyzing, saying, look, this is literally going down the toilet, right? So let's talk about this for a second, right? So in 2024, many were hoping that this market will flip on a dime, everything will go accordingly, everything will go smooth, we will have a couple of rate cuts, and the market will ignite. All of a sudden, everybody is going to start knocking on their doors with firm offers, right? Not going to happen. And it didn't happen in 2024. And in 2025, it will be even worse. Guaranteed. It will be horrible, right? Because everybody that was not successful in 2024 will come back online 2025. Everybody that was due, just by default in 2025, they will come online. Everybody that matured to a particular level, right? So, couples getting married, divorced, or moving, changing, facilitating. So maturity is there. They need to do something. That will happen. So you have 3 categories that will come online at the same time. So the market will see a huge influx, huge spike in inventory, which means for the buyer, on the contrary, it means more room to negotiate, more negotiation power, and the list is endless. I'm not even getting into condo market. I'm not even getting into the entire 40,000 units coming online in 2025. This was one of my biggest tags on my channel. 40,000 units pre-con occupancy 2025. And then there's another, I believe, 25,000 in 2026 or 35,000. So what are we talking about? 70,000 units in 2 years? The market is going to be flooded. We don't even know what to do with what we already have. Nobody wants these crappy condos, these shoeboxes, overpriced at $1,600 a foot, you name it. Nobody wants that, right? So when you have a situation like that, and then you have a situation where nobody wants your bad deal, nobody wants that investment, and there's no pressure, there's no need, there's no lineup for these buyers to be pushed into a deal. So this is what I see now. Like, yes, the showings have picked up 100%. The showings picked up, but it doesn't mean that the offers picked up. There's more negotiation power. People are taking it easy. People are looking at stuff, from a different angle. No urgency. They take it easy. They're looking what's going on. They throw some verbal numbers, which they're not supposed to do, the agents, but they just throw it out there, right? And then even if you encourage them to put it on paper, they don't do it. So there's all these sorts of things mixed in that bag where 2025 doesn't feel it will deliver what most of you are expecting. And most expectations are that the interest rates will go down, the market will pick up, we'll see a gain between 5 to 15%, everybody's going to be back on the horse and all of that, like a fairy tale story. It's not going to happen. Now, all of you that are living in La La Land, right? Because when the statistics are looked at in these situations, in these periods, you cannot look at the statistic comparing the best of the best. In a marketing analysis, you have the other side, right? And then try to forecast, right? Because last year, every week, let's say, for instance, just to throw a number out there, from the entire MLS, only 5 to 7% were actually sold. So you think about that. If you had a percentage of 100 homes, let's say on market, 5 sell. 5 out of 100, or 7, right? On a good week. So imagine that for a second. So all of that inventory is being recycled back and back and back. And then eventually these sellers will have to come to common sense. Let me put it that way. And I know some communities are different than others and some areas are doing better than others. I get that. But at one point, if you see your neighbor sell for X, that's your next price. And it works the same way when the market shoots up. Identical. Do you remember? It was only a few years ago. Do you remember? I remember, buying a unit at $500,000, let's say in a building. And then literally after a week, somebody would sell for $520,000. So can you guess how much the third guy would sell? Well, more than $520,000, right? Because that's the benchmark, right? So that's how it goes when it comes down. If the guy sold for $550,000, that's the benchmark. If the next guy sold for $520,000, that's the benchmark. And it keeps going, and it keeps constantly going in that direction until you either hit the bottom or something else happens or the atmosphere picks up. And how can it pick up? Better rates, better stability, employment, security. People feel good about it. People want to invest because they know they want to have gains, right? And all that stuff. Like there's a lot involved. And now when I see what's going on today, guys, I don't really see it. I really don't see those numbers that I'm talking to some of acquaintances, people, even people from the channel. Like, you guys are commenting on the channel and I appreciate it, right? Because we should obviously learn from each other and always gain something from each other and all of that stuff. But I see it, right? Like some people are like, you're crazy, rates go down, prices go up. No, it doesn't work like that. There's a lag. And on top of that, if you really want to calculate it, the fixed rates are not down that much. They're hovering more than 4%. So what are we even talking about? We're so far away from the ones and the twos that we saw in the pandemic, years ago. We're way off of that chart. Like before we see that, who knows? Could be another few years, right? So somebody commented on the channel in the last video or the video before, I don't even remember now, but they were commenting like it will take until 2028 for us to see the real deal in the market. Whether that's true, how they calculate it, I don't know, but it's just something to think about. So I hope you got some value out of this video. If you believe that somebody can gain more insights by watching this video, please share. Otherwise, like, subscribe, watch any other videos on my channel, and I'll see you in the next one.